A magnificent, enthralling series has come to an end. A series that we will remember for a long time, and a series that has implications for the future of Indian cricket. But that is for later. As usual, at the end of every test match, I do my top five. I'm doing two sets of top fives actually at the end of this series. The first is my set of top five performers at the end of five test matches. Che, I love five test series. The other is top five passages of play across those test matches. Some that tugged at the heart, some that just showed sporting brilliance, glory, extraordinary achievements. So let's start with the top five performers. And I'll go up in ascending order. At number five, I have the MCG crowd. The ability of people to come through the gate and support our game should never be doubted. 370,000 people came to watch Test match cricket at the MCG. Overall, across Australia, more than 850,000 people came to watch Test match cricket. Now, if only we could bottle this context, this enthusiasm, this great love for Test cricket, and just sprinkle it all across the cricketing world, what fun it would be. I keep telling people that Australia has, right through this month and a half, has presented a beautiful illusion on the health of Test match cricket. And how I'd love to be wrong. How I'd love for this feeling to go all over the world. So that was my number five. My number four is Scott Boland. Few times in very enviable bowling conditions, but just overall, I love the fact that he came and hit the deck a bit in, a bit out, and he took 21 wickets at 13.19. Those are Bumrah-esque figures. And Rishabh Pant, at the end of day one of the last test match, said, we need to find a way to play Scott Boland. Can you imagine a performance like that for someone who's seen as only the fourth best fast bowler in Australia, and someone who comes in behind the new ball as a first change to deliver performances like that? Australia are greatly indebted to him. He had a big part to play in Australia winning the Border-Gavaskar trophy. At number three, I've got Travis Head. He made 448 runs at 56. But the performance at the Adelaide Oval was in many ways the key to the series. One of three or four, I accept, but at 103 for 3, coming in after Bumrah's taken 8 wickets in the first test match, you're unsure how to go about him, and then he hits 140 in 141 balls. As I said, finished with 448 runs, was a fantastic performance. Tapered off a little bit towards the end, but that's the big thing about 5 test matches, isn't it? You have some good days, some not so good days. You make the good days count. He was the leading run scorer in the series. So once again, Travis had the migraine for India in this series. He was my number 3 performer. Now you might wonder, if that is number 3, who are 2 and 1? And number 2 was Pat Cummins. Most times, if you didn't have others dominating a series, as happened on this occasion, you look at Pat Cummins' figures. He took 25 wickets at 21.36. He bowled some deliveries to remember. His angle going little wide, coming in, forcing you to play, just leaving, always attacking the top of off stump. His fitness, his ability to charge in and pound the turf, ball after ball after ball, not just releasing it, but pounding the turf. And at a crucial moment, he played 2 important innings, and he finished with 159 runs at an average just under 20 when you're batting number 8 on a series played largely on seaming tracks. That is fantastic. Plus, add the fact that he was captain, generally played in very good spirit, very good cheer. He's a gentleman, he's a lovely person, and he's an outstanding cricketer. So Pat Cummins was number 2, but almost every series, Pat Cummins will be number 1. What we saw in this series, I've often said that it will go down as one of my great memories in all these years of watching cricket. Bumrah not only took wickets, he invaded the minds of the Australian batters. His numbers against the top 6 Australian batters were unique, very difficult to comprehend. He, as I said, he invaded their minds, he inhabited their minds, and all they're talking about is how do we play Bumrah. Even when the last day started, just 160 to get, all the celebrated former cricketers in our Fox commentary team were saying, if Bumrah was there, India could have won it. That is the huge influence he had on the series. So Jasprit Bumrah is my number one performer of the series, the easiest choice there has ever been for a player of the series. Now let's move on a little bit. Little passages of play, little moments. You know, I'm a slightly sort of emotional, sentimental kind of person. So at number 5 on my list, I have the 100 that Nitish Reddy scored. Was a great moment in his career, but was just a great moment for television to understand all that he has gone through to come here and then to go to the Melbourne cricket ground and score 100. We've talked about it on this platform as well. It was fantastic. So Nitish came in at 191 for 6, chasing 474, made 114. I thought he had a big impact in this series. So Nitish Reddy was at number 5. At number 4, I have Yashasvi Jaiswal at Perth. India bowled out 150. He's got a monster delivery from Mitchell Starc up front. He's never played in Australia before. Then Australia get bowled out for 104. The game is in the balance, and he leaves the ball beautifully. You think of Jaiswal, and you think big shots down the ground, lovely shots, square, maybe the occasional slog sweep. He left beautifully and scored 161 and told us that here's a player who might be excellent in T20 cricket, but you know what? He has the temperament for Test match cricket. So that performance is at number 4 on my list. At number 3, I've got 2 deliveries. And I've got 2 because I can't separate one from the other. Was it the magical delivery that Scott Boland bowled to Yashasvi Jaiswal in the second innings at the Sydney Cricket Ground, unplayable? Or was it that ball that Pat Cummins bowled to KL Rahul at the MCG? I'm tempted to go MCG because at the SCG, the pitch was treacherous, was Scott Boland's friend. But really, 2 balls, angle in, leave you, hit top of off stump was fantastic. So those 2 are my number 3. At number 2 of the many spells that Jasprit Bumrah has bowled, I've picked one, and it came in the second innings at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. First, he got Travis Head, got field absolutely well set for that. Then he bowled 2 monster deliveries. One to Mitch Marsh, who's behind tall man and suddenly rears up at him, takes the outside edge, and then a beast of an in-swinger that comes in and knocks Alex Carey's stumps over. I was on air at that time, and I actually remember saying, stop it, Jasprit Bumrah, because we are running out of words, even as Australia running out of batters. I enjoyed calling that moment, but to see the skill on display there was magnificent. So what have I got at number 1? My number 1 passage of play involves a young cricketer who I fear is a slogger at the moment more than a batter. But in that period of play, conscious to Bumrah, I think it went a long way in deciding where this series goes. 1-1 coming to the MCG. Australia have no idea what to do next with Bumrah. They go left field and say, let's throw in this kid. First 2 overs, he plays and misses, and everyone's smiling and say, yeah, there's a kid up against the master. And then in the next 4 overs, Bumrah goes for 30 plus runs. He finishes 6 overs for 38. He's never been hit for that many in his first spell. He was smiling, he was shrugging it off. But what that spell did was suddenly to give Australia a start, keep Usman Khwaja away from Bumrah, set the pace for 3, 4 and 5 to come in, made Bumrah come back for a second and third spell, and I think was a key moment in the shift of this series away from India towards Australia. So there you are. Those were my top 5 for the series, the top 5 moments. It was, as I said, a magical series. It was great fun. Australia, it produces some wonderful environments to work in, to watch cricket, and I hope it always remains that way. Cheers.
So thank you for watching, and do subscribe to this channel.